Do you feel that? The anime blues are finally setting in. Next week will be the final episode of Yowamushi Pedal Season 1, and we'll have to wait an entire anime season to see Season 2. Kind of upsetting, really, because it's just been a long time I've been following the series. I think I've been following it since December of last year, and so it's really sad seeing that this series will be coming to an end very, very soon. So, just, yeah, those emotions, those feels you feel because you know an anime you've been watching weekly every Monday for a long time is finally coming to an end. Just really, it gets you. So anyways, let's talk about this episode. We find out some backstory to Mito Tsuji's introduction to the Kyoto team. We find out how the team was beforehand, before Mito Tsuji showed up and pretty much just destroyed the entire atmosphere of the team. Now, in this episode, what we can clearly see is the different atmospheres that the different teams of this series give off. Like, Kyoto, as we can see, is under, like, supremacy of Mito Tsuji. He's the main leader, and everybody does what he says, and Mito Tsuji's willing to just kick anyone off his team as long as if he can win. That's exactly what we can see in this episode. And when we go over to Hakone Academy, we can see their team is built upon talented players, and at the same time, they don't feel like any of their people are dead weight. Because I knew what Fukutomi was talking about when he said dead weight. I knew he wasn't actually specifically saying it towards his team, even though that scene was mainly meant to show that he was probably giving up on his entire team and racing forward. He wasn't like that. Really, as we can see from this episode, Fukutomi felt like his entire team is not considered dead weight because his team is such talented racers that he can say that, and they probably will understand that he's not saying specifically they're dead weight. It's at the same time, it's really emotional. It shows you the bond between their team. And then we go to our team with Onoda and them are at. We can see what Mito Tsuji talked about. He said the weak teams, they will constantly go back to save their fellow teammates. At the same time, they're willing to risk going and being up front to save a specific teammate, like we get to see Onoda do in a couple episodes ago. And so what we can clearly see is there's different standpoints of each of these teams that are the top three right now that are going into this race. I mean, Mito Tsuji that feels like he only needs to win, nothing else matters. We have Fukutomi's team that feels like everybody is not dead weight, but at the same time, he's willing to race in front of them if they are too slow. And then we have Onoda's team to where they're willing to help out anyone in their team to be able to make it to the end of the race, no matter if they lose or not. So overall, I love the way they showcased that in this episode. I don't know if they were really trying to do that or not, but there was a lot of emotion, those different things they showed in this episode. Animation was good. Mito Tsuji seemed to have an upgrade when it comes to animation in this episode. I don't know if it's just me, but he seemed even more creepier than normal. He really did. That and that purple aurora around Mito Tsuji really does not help the fact of his creepiness. And when you see a majority of this episode around him when he's talking and scheming. Oh yeah, one thing I was talking about a while back in my reviews, I said the downfall of Mito Tsuji is going to be him not caring about his teammates. And he thinks they're all dead weight or gross or creepy or whatever Mito Tsuji says to them. So what I'm saying is Mito Tsuji, in the end, I feel like he will lose. Not because he's so talented and that he runs out of energy, but because his comrades are going to abandon him. That's exactly the way I see it going at the end of this Inter High, because I mean, Mito Tsuji, as we can see, he's made his teammates feel like they're not worthy and at the same time they're weak, and so we'll eventually probably see a crack in their team eventually if Mito Tsuji keeps his personality up. And at the same time, with this second day race, we get to see Hakone Academy starting to wear down, and they're not as strong as they were the first day, and so it seems like our main team with Onoda is probably going to stand a chance against Hakone Academy now, since they're both equally worn out. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how the next episode is portrayed. Most likely, it's going to conclude this second day, and they're probably going to leave it on a cliffhanger with the third day that's going to happen for Season 2. Here's the question, though. We don't exactly know how many episodes Yowamushi Pedal Season 2 is going to be. And for them to confirm a Season 2, it must mean they have a lot of material to cover. Now, how long is Season 2 going to go? That's the big question. As we know, Yowamushi Pedal is going to be going for about 38 episodes, so I wonder how long Season 2 is going to last. Is it going to go the same equal amount of episodes? Is it going to go 12 episodes to finish the last day? Or is it going to be something else? I'm just curious exactly what direction this series is going to take. But either way, I love this episode. I love the atmosphere about it. I love the music and all the stuff that's showcased in this episode. So tell me your thoughts of this episode of Yowamushi Pedal, everybody. I love all of you so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.